What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Media Goose channel. I am the Media Goose, your friend Ryan, and the goose is loose. I am here today to give you a reaction and recap to Monday Night Raw. Give me a like, comment, share, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of Monday Night Raw. I'm going to give a segment-by-segment breakdown, but first, I'm gonna start with the two biggest segments and then make my way through the show. So first, the main event. Roman Reigns and CM Punk have a face-to-face. This was everything I hoped it would be. This is the main event match I wanted, and I'm thrilled we're getting it, despite the Royal Rumble match not doing a lot to make me excited for Roman's Wrestlemania journey. Last night did. His segment with Punk was why those are two of the best wrestlers in the world. Two of the best promos in the world. Roman and Punk have long been two of my favorite wrestlers. Punk since, 2010 when I came back to wrestling. I watched as a kid and then fell out around 2002, and I came back around 2010, and Punk hooked my attention right away. And I think his run with the title has been awesome. I've loved his run back in WWE. I enjoyed a lot of his run in AEW as well. And then Roman Reigns. Roman, like most, I didn't love him when he was getting shoved down the audience's throat, but it was very clear that that was Vince trying to put the full machine behind Roman. And even before all of the last couple of years of allegations against him, I've never been a Vince McMahon guy. I didn't enjoy most of his booking when I got back into wrestling. I had to kind of start engaging with the IWC to get honest opinions on wrestling as it was happening. But anyway, they killed it tonight. I'm glad they just announced that it's Punk Roman in the main event of Mania tonight and didn't do the thing where he then goes to SmackDown and teases it with Drew. Let's just get to the point. It's Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, Night 2 WrestleMania main event, and that segment cooked. They both dropped some bars on each other. I thought they both had good things that they went back to. The way Roman talked about Punk holding up the title behind him as he went up the ramp like he was some young boy. The way Roman talked about helping Punk get back into the company. Punk talking about how he brought Roman into the company. And then Roman, the coolest thing Roman brought up, in my opinion, was how Punk went on Colt Cabana's podcast years ago and made Roman's life harder than it had to be. If you didn't know what that meant, that was... So when Punk went on his friend Colt Cabana's podcast, when he walked out of WWE, he did a full airing of grievances, George Costanza style, and buried Vince, the company, and Roman especially. He said that Roman wasn't the original guy in the Shield. It was supposed to be Chris Hero, but Vince, Roman was the company guy. They were like, you can do your trio, but we need one of ours in there, and it's Roman. And Punk talked about how he was told going into matches, make Roman look strong. And that got all over the internet. And I think that was a big part of the hatred that Roman got. So Punk is... them making that part of the story is brilliant, in my opinion. And I think the story between these two is going to be excellent. These are two of the best promos in the business. CM Punk is arguably one of the best promos in wrestling history. Granted, my wrestling history only goes back to 1998. I'm not a student of the game earlier than that, so I don't claim to be. So yell at me in the comments if he's not a top promo guy ever, but for me, he is. And I think this got me really excited for the road to WrestleMania. So buckle up, because I think they're going to keep kind of escalating from here. And I'm really excited to see what they do. And now the second thing I'm going to talk about before I run down the show is Gunther. So in my Rumble reaction and previews, I kind of talked about not being thrilled with what they're doing with Gunther right now, and how the kind of grinning, laughing heel wasn't really doing it for me. I wanted him to be more intense. Last night was the first time it set in with me that this whole character is a troll, and that was probably obvious, but I don't know. Last night was the first time it really set in with me, like, oh my god, he's trolling everybody. And during the Cena stuff, I don't know, it didn't hit with me in that way. I wanted a more intense Gunther, but the segment last night, I'm done talking trash. Gunther's the man. He came out to AJ's theme, got that big pop, and then nuclear heat. He got that, like, Dom Mysterio levels of heat, where he couldn't talk for a few minutes at the beginning of the promo, and he ran down AJ and did a great heel promo, and then Dragon Lee comes out. And man, if they use this AJ Gunther program and the AJ Dragon Lee tag team to elevate Dragon, I'm going to be so excited, because Dragon is really fun to watch in the ring. He's one of the best luchadors in between the ropes. I just hope he can keep up on the mic, because he has flubbed when he's had opportunities in the past, and I hope they set him up for success here. I hope they don't just, like, feed him to Gunther and it's a one-match turn and burn and that's the end of the feud. I hope this is a real program and they really try to get Dragon over, because I think Dragon Lee's excellent. So those are the two big segments that really cemented the night as a good episode of Raw. Now I'm just going to walk through segment by segment. So the opening of the show was the Vision. Braun is already down by the ring stalking. He gets in Corey's face, gets in Michael's face, flips the announce table. As he calls out Adam Pearce, the rest of the Vision comes down to try to calm him down, get him out of the ring. As the rest of the Vision is in the corner trying to calm Braun down, Heyman grabs a mic and drops a really good promo on Adam Pearce about how he signs all of the visas to go over to Saudi, so it's bullshit that he doesn't know who the masked man was. If you follow Adam Pearce on X, he retweeted the tweet of the masked man attacking Braun with, like, a shrugging emoji, like, I don't know who it is. So maybe it's Pearce or somebody brought in by Pearce, or it's just Seth or Theory, whoever it is. I've seen people thinking it's going to be Jake Paul. God, we don't need another Paul brother. I'm assuming this is just a placeholder until Seth is healthy. And I don't know, for me, don't book for a guy if he can't be on the card. That I haven't worked in wrestling, so I'm not basing that through, like, some history in the business, just my thoughts. It's weird to take multiple opportunities away from Braun for the sake of this masked man storyline. The Rumble would have been a real chance for Breakker to shine, and I just don't agree with taking him out of that match. Then the second segment of the night was Javon versus El Grande Americano, Ludwig Kaiser. It was running it back based on the fact that they screwed over Javon last week, and Gable came out. Distraction allowed Javon to win. This was basic. I was hoping they would do something to further the Gable-Ludwig thing, but then later in the night there was a commercial promo with El Grande Americano and Rayo and Bravo. Let me see if I can find that in my notes. They basically just, like, the those Americanos are very big on Mexican culture and being a part of it. And like they say in Spanish to all my Mexican homies in the house, make some noise. So it's going to be interesting to see where we go. I'm kind of hoping that Kaiser is the heel here and that Gable comes out as a baby face with momentum because I want more for Chad Gable. The comparisons to Kurt Angle are obvious, but I'm not doing it to like go with everybody else. I just think that's his potential. Maybe his upside isn't as high as Angle's like Hall of Fame best day, but maybe it is. And the only way you're going to find out is by giving him a chance. Then we get, let's see, Adam Pearce and Paul Heyman have a contentious promo in the back. Pearce says F-A-F-O, fuck around and find out, the thing that Heyman brought up. So these two are in like a blood feud right now. More than Seth versus Breaker at Mania, I'm kind of hoping for Pearce versus Breaker. That's probably not a popular opinion, but let Seth miss time. Like, don't rush back for every, like, the quick shock every time you get hurt. You just did it with Seth. Don't do it again. Just let the guy miss Mania. Get other people on the card. Maxine cuts a promo during one of the commercials, and it was excellent as well. Then the War Raiders come out, and Obafemi's music hits, and the Raiders make a face where they are confused. They weren't expecting Obafemi. The announcers sell it like they're surprised. They weren't expecting Obafemi. This was a tag team match, and Oba destroys them. This was excellent. Obafemi is the next top guy, in my opinion. More than Breaker, more than Javon, more than Trick. Oba is the guy. So I've seen some people say, why are you jobbing out the War Raiders? It's Obafemi. When Brock Lesnar showed up, they fed the hardcore division and the Hardys to him. No expense can be spared when making your next top guy. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. Commentators selling it as them not expecting it was cool because it shows Oba's going out of his way to cause chaos. I thought that was excellent. Then we get a Finn Balor video package. It was a really great video package. He said he's not a bad guy, but he's willing to do bad things. I hope this is Triple H repositioning Finn as one of his main event guys. Then we get a Bellas promo, and like the Bellas don't do much for me. Nikki, they're baby faces, but she buries the Eagles. If you're a babyface, be a babyface. If you're a heel, be a heel. I don't know. That was weird to me that she started burying the Eagles and then they went to a babyface pro. I don't know. Just weird to me. So then it's Penta versus Bronson. This was a Monday Night Raw match. You know, Bronson dominated a lot of it, got all of his stuff in. Bronson has a really impressive offense. I love Bronson Reed. I always am impartial to the big guys. So I love seeing Bronson. He's really impressive. Something I wrote down about Penta, I mentioned in my review or preview of the Rumble, I haven't watched Unreal, but one of the things I saw talked about was that they see Penta as a star. And I feel like that must be the reason we haven't gone to the Lucha Bros yet, because they see more for Penta as an individual. And I hope they do something. I think he could be the IC champ right now and probably get more out of it than Dom is, because Dom is kind of transcended title, or at least transcended the mid-card title. But yeah, the typical stuff happens. LA Knight runs out, messes up the Vision. Big distraction. Penta gets the W because LA Knight hits a BFT to Reed on the chair. Bronson Reed does a great job selling the finisher on the chair. I don't love the guy who pinned Roman Reigns losing a countout match on Raw, but it was really good selling of that LA Knight BFT on the chair. Like, Bronson did great selling that. So it'll be interesting to see where we go from here. LA Knight being like stuck in the Vision vortex, I don't know, man. I hope they have something in store for LA Knight. I just don't know what that would be. Then we get the Liv Morgan promo. Dirty Dom is back to introduce her, and he's as over as ever. Not for nothing, he's as handsome as ever. Dom looked great. He's got like the full duster mustache now. He looked like the cool art teacher from college. Like, it was a good look for Dom. He brings out Liv. Liv does a great promo. Then Raquel comes out. She does call out Liv, like, hey, why did you eliminate me? And then Liv has a good defense. She says, well, you already had a title shot. Now we both have a title shot. So then we get to the street fight between Stephanie and Raquel. It was all right. I was expecting more. It didn't have a great flow to it. It felt like a series of spots without continuity. There was a table spot. Stephanie set up a table, so naturally she had to go through it. Raquel did these like elbow smashes in the corner where she would touch the ground, smash, touch the ground, smash. That was pretty cool. I dug that. She wraps Stephanie's bad ankle in a chain and drags her around the ringside area. She big fallaway slam into the chairs. Stephanie dodges a twisting Vader bomb from Raquel, and Raquel lands on a pile of chairs. Liv ends up getting involved, even though Raquel told her not to, so that'll probably lead to more Judgment Day chaos. But Stephanie ends up retaining after all of it. It was a fine match, but it didn't have any flow to it, in my opinion. Wasn't great. I thought it was like a 3.5-star match. It didn't really ascend to what I thought the match could be. Then we get to the main event. And as I said earlier, Roman and Punk killed it. They really did a great job hyping up the main event of WrestleMania. I'm just looking down at my notes to see if there's anything I haven't talked about yet. Oh, it was hilarious. When Punk first came out, he goes right to the camera to talk to Finn, and Roman does this. You cut me off to talk to Finn about what the... It was so funny. Roman is... The fact that he used to be a bad promo and like would get booed, all the way to how natural he is as a promo now, I love it. But I already talked about this a lot, not gonna spend too much time. I'm really excited for Roman and Punk. I think it's gonna be a great match. I think it's two of the better characters in the company, and I'm really excited for the build to see how we go. Have to imagine Paul Heyman might get involved. If Seth is healthy enough to be around, maybe he'll get involved in the storytelling. I'm really excited to see where we go from here. So, let me know what you thought of Raw down below. I thought it was a good Raw, kind of setting things up on the road to WrestleMania. We have the qualifiers for Elimination Chamber starting next week, so let's see how the road to WrestleMania unfurls itself. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. I am the Goose, and the Goose is out.